All right, welcome to your personalized deep dive. Today, we're not just talking about studying abroad.
Mm.
We're building a blueprint for you to find that perfect program in 2025. You've given us a mountain of sources.
A lot to work with.
Yeah, rankings, articles, even some personal stories.
I
So
do.
let's sift through it all and find those golden nuggets that'll make you a study abroad expert.
I like that, a blueprint. Because just like building a house,
Right.
we need to start with the foundation, your goals.
Yeah.
What do you want to achieve academically, professionally, and personally through this experience?
Okay, so that's step one of our blueprint, defining the why behind studying abroad.
Definitely.
But with millions of students going global every year,
It's true.
how do we make sure you stand out?
That's where the research gets interesting. We know the US, UK, and Australia are popular.
Yeah, they are.
But digging deeper, we see these emerging hubs like Sweden,
Interesting.
with its focus on sustainability and English-taught programs, or Singapore's booming business scene.
Yeah. So popularity isn't everything.
It's not the only factor.
We need to find that sweet spot where your aspirations align with the country's strengths.
Exactly.
Like one of your sources mentioned Germany's excellent and affordable engineering programs.
Yeah.
And didn't someone even mention like tuition-free options?
Yes. Many public universities in Germany offer tuition-free programs for international students.
Wow.
However,
Right.
it's crucial to remember that free doesn't mean no cost. Living expenses still need to be factored in.
Of course, yeah.
It's about finding that balance between academic excellence and affordability.
Right, because studying abroad isn't just about hitting the books, it's about the whole experience.
Absolutely.
So location plays a huge role, for instance.
You died.
One of the sources mentions Sarah, an MBA aspirant who
Yeah.
chose Canada over the UK.
Interesting.
Not just for the lower cost of living, but because Canada offered better post-graduation work opportunities.
Sarah's story perfectly illustrates how this blueprint comes together. She considered her academic goals, the financial aspect, and the long-term career benefits.
Smart.
This strategic approach is key.
Yeah.
It's about maximizing your return on investment, both personally and professionally.
Now, let's talk what, as in what to study.
Okay.
The sources highlight some hot fields in 2025. Tech.
Huge.
Think AI and cybersecurity. Business with a global focus. Healthcare, which is booming as populations age worldwide.
Yeah, and don't discount the arts and humanities.
Oh, interesting.
They're gaining new relevance in our tech-driven world.
Okay.
The key takeaway here is that you're not just choosing a major, you're investing in a sector's future.
So should everyone just rush into computer science or engineering then?
Not necessarily. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics is a great resource for this.
Okay.
It highlights the fastest growing sectors, which can help you future-proof your career.
Right.
But just chasing dollars might not lead to career happiness.
Right. It has to be that blend of passion and market demand.
I agree.
But sifting through all this data can feel overwhelming. Any advice on how to cut through the noise?
Absolutely. Alumni stories are gold mines of insight. Find those who studied in your field, in your potential countries, and learn from their experiences, the good, the bad, and the unexpected.
Yeah.
They've walked the path you're considering.
I like that. It's like having a personal guide
Right.
through the study abroad jungle.
Exactly.
And what about those education consultants the sources mentioned? Are they worth considering?
They can be invaluable if you're feeling lost. They offer personalized roadmaps,
Right.
helping you navigate the complex application process, visa requirements, and even cultural nuances.
Like in the story of Pooja, Amit, and Tanya, who use LetzStudy,
Yeah.
they said the consultant helped them find programs perfectly tailored to their individual goals.
Exactly. It's about finding the right support system,
Yeah.
whether it's alumni networks, online forums, or professional guidance. Remember, you don't have to build this blueprint alone. There are resources available to help you every step of the way.
Okay, so we've got our blueprint started, defining our why, exploring potential locations and fields of study,
Right.
and even considering expert guidance. What's next on our construction plan?
Well, just like any construction project, we need to talk budget.
Ah, yes.
After all, this experience comes with a price tag.
It does.
But don't worry, we'll unpack the financial side of things in part 2 of this deep dive.
Sounds good.
We'll explore scholarships, funding options, and how to make your study abroad dream a reality.
Right, we're back and ready to tackle the next phase of our study abroad blueprint,
Yeah.
the financial side of things.
This is often where people hit a roadblock,
It can be.
but it doesn't have to be a deal breaker.
Right.
Remember, Studying abroad is an investment in your future.
It is.
And just like any smart investment, it requires careful planning and exploration of different funding avenues.
So let's start with the most sought-after resource,
Yeah,
scholarships.
of course.
The sources mentioned a ton of options.
A lot out there.
Where do we even begin?
It can feel overwhelming,
It can.
but a strategic approach is key.
Okay.
Think of it as a multi-pronged attack.
I like that.
First, explore scholarships offered by the universities themselves.
Yeah.
Many institutions, especially those eager to attract international students,
Right.
have merit-based scholarships.
Okay, so cast a wide net and apply to as many university scholarships as possible.
This is a good start.
What other avenues should we be exploring?
Government-funded programs are another excellent resource. The Fulbright program, for instance, is renowned for its support of international study.
Yeah, I've heard of that one.
But it's not just about the big names.
Right.
Many countries offer specific scholarships
Oh.
for students interested in studying particular fields.
The sources did mention that, right?
They did.
Something about tailoring your search to your chosen field.
Exactly.
Could you elaborate on that a bit?
Absolutely. Let's say you're passionate about renewable energy and you're considering studying in Sweden. You might find scholarships specifically geared towards students pursuing sustainability-related fields
Oh, interesting.
in Scandinavian countries.
So it's about, like, digging deeper
Yes.
and finding those niche opportunities that align perfectly with your blueprint.
That's the idea.
That makes sense. So we've got university scholarships, government funding, and even these specialized grants. Any tips on navigating the scholarship landscape effectively?
Organization is key.
Okay.
Create a spreadsheet, a calendar, whatever works best for you.
Right.
Track deadlines, eligibility criteria,
Mm-hmm.
and required documents for each scholarship you're considering.
Because missing a deadline could mean missing out on a huge opportunity.
It could.
What about those common pitfalls people often fall into during their scholarship search?
Oh, yeah.
Anything we should be aware of?
One common mistake is not thoroughly reading the requirements.
Ah,
Make sure you meet all the criteria
all right.
before investing time and effort in an application. Okay. Another pitfall is limiting your search to the big-name scholarships.
Okay.
Remember, smaller, more specialized grants
Right.
might have less competition.
So think outside the box.
Exactly.
And don't be afraid to explore those less traveled paths.
I like that.
Now, scholarships are fantastic,
They are.
but they don't always cover everything.
That's true.
The sources also mention student loans.
Yeah.
Are they worth considering?
They can be,
Okay.
but it's crucial to approach them with caution.
Right.
Start by researching government-backed loans.
Okay.
They often have lower interest rates compared to private loans,
Mm-hmm.
and always compare terms and repayment options
Right.
before signing on the dotted line.
It's like taking out a mortgage for your education, right?
It is.
You need to be smart about it.
Absolutely.
But let's be realistic.
Oh.
Even with scholarships and loans, studying abroad requires a solid budget.
Absolutely. Remember our construction project analogy.
Yeah.
Well, just like a contractor needs a detailed budget. So do you start by researching the cost of living in your chosen destination?
Websites like Numbeo can be super helpful for that.
They are.
They break down expenses like groceries, transportation,
Yeah.
and accommodation.
Exactly. Factor in tuition fees, visa costs, travel expenses,
Yeah.
even those tempting weekend trips you'll want to take.
Oh, yeah.
It's about painting a realistic picture of your financial needs.
Don't forget those currency exchange rates.
Oh, right.
They can fluctuate, so build in some buffer room
Good point.
for potential variations.
Another smart move is exploring part-time work opportunities.
Oh, interesting.
Some countries allow international students to work a certain number of hours per week.
Okay.
It can help offset living expenses and provide valuable work experience.
And let's not forget about being financially savvy during your time abroad.
Oh, of course.
Packing a reusable water bottle,
Yeah.
taking advantage of student discounts,
Mm-hmm.
cooking at home instead of eating out every night.
Those small choices can add up to big savings.
Absolutely. It's about being mindful of your spending habits
Yeah.
and making informed choices.
Yeah.
Remember, studying abroad is an investment.
It is.
Managing your finances wisely ensures you can fully embrace the experience without constantly worrying about money.
So we've covered scholarships, loans, and the importance of budgeting.
We have.
What's the final piece of advice for our listener when it comes to the financial aspect of this blueprint?
I'd say Don't let the financial aspect deter you.
Yeah,
With careful planning, research, and a bit of resourcefulness,
right.
studying abroad is achievable.
It is.
There are options out there. It's just a matter of finding the ones that fit your unique circumstances.
Great advice. So we've tackled the where, the what, and now the how much of studying abroad.
We have.
Our blueprint is coming together nicely.
It is.
But there's one crucial element we haven't addressed yet.
Oh.
Preparing yourself mentally and emotionally.
For this transformative journey, that's where we'll dive in for part 3 of this deep dive.
Sounds good.
We've mapped out our study abroad blueprint, covering everything from choosing the right program to securing the funds. But now, let's talk about preparing yourself, not just logistically, but mentally and emotionally for this experience.
This is where the real transformation happens.
Yeah.
It's about understanding that studying abroad goes beyond academics.
Okay.
It's a cultural immersion.
Right.
A chance to step outside your comfort zone and develop a global mindset.
I like that.
Dr. Sarah Williams,
Yeah.
a Harvard expert on global education, emphasizes this.
Okay.
She says it's about gaining cultural fluency,
Okay.
a skill highly valued by employers.
So what exactly does cultural fluency mean? Is it just about, like, knowing the local customs and etiquette?
It's more than just knowing which fork to use at dinner.
Right.
It's about understanding nonverbal cues,
Okay.
navigating social situations with grace, and adapting to different communication styles.
So it's really about, like, reading between the lines,
Exactly.
understanding those unspoken rules?
Imagine yourself at a business meeting in Tokyo, for instance.
Okay.
Being culturally fluent means understanding the subtle nuances of Japanese business etiquette,
Right.
which can be key to building strong relationships.
Okay, so cultural fluency isn't just a nice to have.
No,
It's a must-have for success in a globalized world.
definitely.
But how do we prepare for this cultural immersion? The sources mentioned pre-departure research. What kind of research are we talking about?
It's about going beyond the typical travel guide information.
Okay.
Delve into the history, the values, the social norms of your chosen destination.
Right.
Read blogs written by locals, watch documentaries,
Uh-huh.
even connect with online communities of expats living in that country.
It's like getting a sneak peek into the cultural landscape before
Yeah.
you even set foot on the plane.
Yes, exactly.
What about the language barrier? Do I need to be fluent before I go?
Fluency is fantastic, but it's not always a requirement.
Okay.
Many programs are conducted in English,
Right.
especially in popular study abroad destinations.
Makes sense.
However, learning some basic phrases in the local language shows respect and opens doors to authentic interactions.
Think of it as a gesture of goodwill,
Exactly.
a way to connect with locals on a deeper level.
I like that.
But even with all the research and language prep, I imagine there will still be challenges.
Oh, for sure.
The sources talked about culture shock. How can we prepare for that?
Culture shock is that feeling of disorientation,
Right.
anxiety, even homesickness
Yeah.
that can hit when you're immersed in a new environment.
It's like sensory overload almost.
It can be.
Everything's new.
It's completely normal.
Okay.
Acknowledge those feelings, but don't let them overwhelm you.
So what are some practical tips for navigating culture shock?
Stay connected with loved ones back home,
Okay.
but also make an effort to connect with locals.
Right. Find that balance.
Join clubs, attend social events, explore your surroundings.
Hmm.
The key is to find a balance between staying grounded in your own culture and embracing the newness of it all.
And remember, those challenges are opportunities for growth.
Absolutely.
Stepping outside your comfort zone builds resilience and adaptability, skills that are valuable in any career.
It's about reframing those initial feelings of discomfort
Yeah.
as stepping stones to personal development.
Okay, we've covered cultural prep, but what about the emotional side of things?
Yeah,
Leaving home, family, friends, that can be tough.
absolutely. Acknowledge those feelings of apprehension,
Yeah.
maybe even a touch of homesickness.
Right.
It's all part of the process.
Okay.
Talk to your loved ones about your expectations, your worries, your excitement,
Yeah.
and pack a few comfort items, a favorite book, a playlist, anything that brings you a sense of familiarity.
Yeah, those little reminders of home can be lifesavers
Yeah.
during those moments when you're feeling overwhelmed or homesick. So we've covered pre-departure research, language tips, cultural awareness,
Right.
and even emotional preparation.
We have.
What's the final piece of advice for our listener as they embark on this incredible journey?
Embrace the unknown.
Ooh, I like that.
Go into this experience with an open mind, a curious spirit, and a willingness to step outside your comfort zone.
Yeah,
Studying abroad is an adventure.
it is.
It's a chance to discover new passions,
Mhm.
forge lifelong friendships, and create memories that will shape you for years to come.
Remember that blueprint we started building at the beginning of this deep dive?
I do.
Well, it's not set in stone.
Right.
Be open to detours, unexpected discoveries,
Yeah.
and the beauty of improvisation.
As you navigate this experience, consider how it's shaping not just your resume,
Uh-huh.
but your worldview.
Right.
The personal growth, the challenges overcome,
Mhm.
the friendships formed across borders, those are the lasting rewards of studying abroad.
So, listener, there you have it.
We did it.
Your personalized deep dive into the world of studying abroad.
It was quite a dive.
We've explored the where, the what, the how much, and most importantly, the how to thrive.
The most important part.
Now go forth and conquer that application process.
You got this.
Remember, we're here cheering you on every step of the way. Until next time, happy exploring.